Bike on the grid, and hopefully Alan will just be trying to get a finish, but he's a very, very quick man. That's the bit, you know, he's capable of being right at the front, as we have seen. Yeah,
I think a few crashes has knocked his confidence as well, so he's just going to try and get a finish and get some signatures on his licence. He's a guy we've been impressed with so far this weekend, Mike Keith.
Mike the Bike, isn't it good to see Mike the Bike Keith there? He's
flying the flag for the Burney camp, because Bruce absent this weekend.
Bruce Burney's not there, and he's away doing other things, isn't he? So yeah, Mike the Bike Keith is the team leader in that camp. Let's hope Mike gets a good result, because he's extremely fast. If Mike Keith has a good test day, you're always guaranteed that he's going to have a good race meeting. So it has happened. Patterson on the front row of the grid on pole position, Mike Keith the green Kawasaki, and then in his 23rd year of racing, it's Donald McFadden rounding out the front row. The green flag at the back, so we're now under starters orders for Superbike race number 1. Dennis, who do you think is going to get the jump down to the first corner?
I want to say Knockhill.
And they're away, so let's see who gets it down towards the first corner. Knockhill Patterson, famous for his starts, and look at that, he's absolutely sped into the distance. Mike Keith tucks into second place. Roy the Boy Houston down into third place, or up into third place, as Tasker tries to go round the outside of Alan Davidson.
I'm glad it says Andrew Tasker on the screen, otherwise you wouldn't know who it was or what it was you were looking at.
Yeah, that's Andrew Tasker's bottom we were looking at there as they come through the Arnold Clark chicane. Patterson, Keith, Houston, Tasker's thinking about going up the inside. We just see a quick flash of Roy Houston, so Andrew gets that move done and dusted. Through Clark Corner, look at the style of Knockhill Patterson hanging off the side of that bike, and Mike Keith's got a bit of an issue as well, because he's actually defending from Tasker pretty well there. And is he going to go up into the lead? Yes, he is. Mike Keith looks like he's made that position stick, and Knockhill was down 2 places.
It looked like Knockhill was very, very tentative on the brakes on this first flying lap, Duncan, and lost a fair bit of time as Graham Duncan is approaching in towards the back on the riders there pretty quickly.
Yeah, Graham Duncan always good for a few elbows out of the hairpin. We've seen Dunky there as Patterson goes back past Tasker, repays the compliment as Tasker then sweeps back round turn 2, goes through at Leslie's, and a good overtaking manoeuvre there.
Knockhill was that wide going down straight curve. He was actually over the curb on the inside as he went towards Leslie's, so lucky that Knockhill managed to get away with that one. He's got Roy Houston right behind him, and Knockhill was on fire yesterday. Never really missed a beat, and was showing these guys what he's here for, and he means business. But also announcing, Duncan, with the news he's going to retire from the Superbike class, and he's going to go to Superstock 600s next year, and he's going to race with the kids.
Yeah, that's going to well, Knockhill's a renowned 600 rider as well. He raced for quite a few years under the John Lynn banner, so I'm really excited about Knockhill Patterson coming back onto a 600, but he makes a mistake there, an unusual mistake with Torx, and Roy Houston goes past him. So Roy Houston gets himself up into 3rd position, 4th Patterson, 5th McFadden, but still leading the way, number 78, Mike the Bike Keith, as Knockhill comes straight back past Roy Houston, manages to hold his line this time and holds him off as they go through Leslie's.
Unusual for Knockhill to be making a few mistakes like that as well, Duncan. We normally see him at the front and he has no issues whatsoever. Just noticing further back behind through the field, we've got Martin Jowett there, Norrie Brunton right behind him as well. So good to see Norrie Brunton back out after he's just had a little bit of debut.
Yeah, we like Norman Brunton. Does some cracking spray jobs on bikes and helmets and all sorts, and a good guy, been around the paddock for a long time. So great seeing Nitro Norrie back out, but look at these two stretching away at the front. Knockhill's now kind of shrugged off the attention of Houston and McFadden. Martin Jowett just the next bike into view on his ZX10R. All these bikes with the electronic aids, and the only Suzuki out there with nothing apart from Knockhill Patterson's right hand, and Knockhill makes that thing work pretty well. He's not in his normal good start to the race then.
Yeah, no, he's just taking a few laps to get into it. Maybe the Dunlop tyres just taking a few laps to get the heat into them and build up the confidence so he can push it. You know, it's could be something like that. He's just not got the confidence there initially, but he's absolutely on a mission so far this lap. He's out, you know, he's pulled away from Donald McFadden behind him. We know that's not an easy task because Donald's been flying so far this weekend as well.
Darren Ross was having a good battle just coming into view as well. He was with Norman Brunton on track there, so keep your eyes out for that. Further back down the orange ZX10R, the first man we'll probably see with an orange vest on, but Knockhill now starting to put some killer lap times in as well. You're both looking at the computer screen as we watch the bikes going round towards the apron, and Knockhill's got the leg out. He's trying hard. He's got his stressometer flying at the side there. The bike making all sorts of shapes and sizes. It comes into the hairpin then.
Yeah, it's not looking comfortable. It's you know, he's making it hard work for himself, but we'll keep an eye on the lap times, Duncan, as he comes up over the top. This is the third flying lap for Knockhill Patterson. He goes on in a 51.5, Duncan, so he's not hanging about. He's quicker than the guys at the front.
Yeah, that's rapid, isn't it? Tasker follows Mike Keith. 2 ZX10Rs at the front there, and we'll go back at the Victor Corriere. Kenny Patterson's in there as well. We've got Alan Davidson. still upright and going around the circuit, so all things good in the mid-pack so far, but straight back to the front of the Arnold Clark chicane. Mike Keith pulls a monster wheelie, turns him in the middle of the road, heads for the apex at Clark's, and it works.
He's using some unconventional lines, you've got to say, but Mike Keith, you know, his lap times are impressive, Duncan, and he's doing it lap after lap as we look back towards Kenny Patterson there again.
Jimmy Shanks in there as well on the KTM. Good to see those guys, but already such is the ferocious pace of these two at the front. It's Keith and Tasker. Listen to the bikes as they make their way up the hill there for this lap, clicking off another lap, and Mike Keith's got some good, but he's working well with that Kawasaki, isn't he?
It's getting good drive, it's looking nice and smooth, but in the background Torkel Patterson's arriving, but it's just took him a few laps to get going, and has he got enough time to get towards the back of these guys, especially Mike Keith? If he's setting a consistent pace at the front, he's consistently 51.5, 51.6, and it's just Torkel that's going that little bit quicker as we look back to the multicoloured bike of Alan Davidson.
Alan Davidson goes through the hairpin there on the Ducati orange vest. Alan used to race 400s actually, so he's a former bike racer, but took a little bit of a break for it, and come back standing a lot of track days. Dennison was very quick on a Kawasaki, then decided to go for the Ducati route, and well, ever since he appeared, he was starting to do 52-second laps in the Clubman in the Superbike class, so he's a quick man.
Just watching a good little battle there. Number 89, Andrew Hunter, we've got to give him a mention. He was trying to start up a new class this weekend, the diesel injection. He had a problem with his bike, it was smoking, and realised there was a bit of diesel in there, and we were told not to mention that.
Yeah, we won't mention Andy Hunter putting diesel in his bike. We won't do that. That's just nasty, Dennis. And we watch Mike Keith though going through straight curves, followed by Andrew Tasker, still sniggering about that one. Let's hope he doesn't get fuel tested.
It looks like Mike Keith's just pulling a little bit of a gap on Tasker, and he's trying his hardest to hang in there. But Mike Keith again, you know, he's riding hard as Mike. It's unusual. He goes in really tight towards class, and he's not really using all the track. But the lap times, Duncan, are very impressive. You know, he put him in the top 20 of the National Superstock Championship. You know, that's and they're the best guys in the country. Yeah, but here comes Torquil as we look at the back of Andrew Tasker there. Torquil is coming, definitely. Look at that, he's definitely dropped off the guys in fourth. So the first two together in a bit of a gap back. Then Torquil Patterson comes out the hairpin on that YPE Saltair Suzuki and winds it up the main straight for clicking off yet another lap. Couple of laps possibly left to go. And this one's coming to the... Yeah, I think that said 3 laps to go there.
And the lap board, I was looking at Tasker's board as well as they go through Leslie's. That's turn 2, then pull it up on the brakes for Scotsman. Important you don't run in there too hot, 'cause it's so easy to fold the front just at the apex in that one, because it's actually dropping away from you all the time as well. And then you go down through Butchers over the first curb of the Arnold Clark chicane. Well, it'll wobble from Mike Keith as he goes over the second curb, and then accelerates hard at the back straight. More of a conventional line from Keith this time. Nice wide sweep through the famous Clark corner over the crest, and it's a big corner this in a motorbike. It's nice and easy on a little bike, but on a big bike that's a big turn round Hislopes. Join us after the break for the conclusion.
Welcome back, and Torquil Patterson is the man on a mission at the moment. You can see the race leaders in front of him, and it is Mike Keith just ahead of Andrew Tasker, but Torquil is definitely incoming, and they're catching up to the back of new Clubman rider Graham Bedell there, first outing on the 1098 this weekend.
Yeah, Graham Bedell doubling up with his Mini Twin, a bit like Craig Shurler, but decided to call a halt to the Mini Twin and try and concentrate on the Superbike, because such was the difference in the bikes, and it's quite a physical place to try and do race two bikes in a weekend round here, as Patrick Foreman can definitely agree to that in other classes. But look at Mike Keith, and look, Torquil Patterson goes underneath Tasker, stuffs it past Tasker, and a good move by Torx there. A little bit wide at the top of the hill there, but made sure he got the move done. So the YPE Saltair Suzuki has come from a huge gap back. He's caught up with Andrew Tasker past him. Can he do anything about Mike Keith? I don't think he can, as they both go underneath Morris Ray, number 23 in the Ducati at the hairpin.
Torquil, he was so wide as he went through Clarkstown, but kept the speed up. The last lap flag is out, and Torquil Patterson just crossing the line now, does a 51.2, quickest lap of the race.
51.2 is extremely quick, though. Mike Keith is circulating not far off that, though, Dennis, so unless Mike makes a mistake on this, the last lap, Mike the Bike Keith is about to take, from memory, serving me correctly, his first victory, Dennis.
Yeah, he's got a 2.5 second lead over that man behind him, which is Torquil Patterson, and yeah, he's actually never won a race as Mike Keith, and I'm pretty sure Bruce Burney will want to be the first man to congratulate him, because Mike Keith, if he wins this one, he's just got to keep it sensible. He's catching up to a slow rider there as they go down towards a hairpin. Keep it nice and smooth, get out the hairpin, don't make any silly mistakes, and he's going to be absolutely overjoyed with this.
Well, he'll get the key to Arbroath, that's for sure. He'll have the key to the city, because here comes Mike Keith through the hairpin, and he's going to win his first race, and he's going to win the Superbike race here in convincing style. Mike Keith wheelies the Kawasaki over the line. Torkel Patterson gets second place. In third place is Andrew Tasker. Possibly was in third gear there, but there he is, number 78, Mike Keith, and he made that look very, very easy, Dennis.
I think he's copying the young kids with a white helmet, Duncan. That's what's making him go fast.
The guys in the Super Stock 600 class all popping for the white helmet, the dark visor. Mike the Bike Keith is the race winner here at Knockhill Racing Circuit today, so congratulations to Mike Keith. We'll get the post-race interviews in just a couple of minutes from Joe Tanner. Mike Keith celebrating on his way around on his slow down lap, past all the marshals here. Great job with the Knockhill Motorsports Club marshals, we must mention that. Some of the guys out there doing fantastic quick recoveries and sweeping up the track in between sessions. Possibly the busiest guys on track, the guys at the hairpin, Dennis. We seem to watch them picking up bikes left, right and centre. Mike Keith coming in to get them a little wave just now, so Jamie Revels and these guys down there congratulating Mike Keith as he comes through in this victory lap.
It's fitting to give Mike Keith a full victory. That was his first ever victory in all the years he's been racing.
I was expecting a big stand-up wheelie there, to tell you the truth, from Mike Keith, but he just babies it back into the pit lane, followed by the rest of the guys. There's Torkel Patterson. He looks very happy with that second place, considering, Dennis, he had to fight very hard for that, coming from quite a gap back. As the guys come back into the pit lane, so Mike Keith is your winner. Torkel Patterson is second place. Third place for Andrew Tasker. Donna McFadden coming back in there, doesn't look terribly happy with that one, I've got to say. As we ride back in with Andrew Tasker. So the results see Mike Keith winning from Torkel Patterson and Andrew Tasker. Don McFadden, Martin Jewett with Roy Houston 6th. Darren Ross up to 7th place, first of the Clubman guys, and in 8th place, Norman Brunton. Joe Tanner.
Race number 2 for the Scottish Superbikes is lined up, ready to go behind me. We have a familiar looking front row. Torkel not here at the moment. Traditionally, he's always late. Sometimes hangs around at the back. Donald McFadden still gunning for that win. There he is. And we'll wander a little deeper. And we'll have a chat with Norman Brunton, if I can. I'll squeeze in this conversation. Norman, we'll have a chat with you. We traditionally have a chat with you at some point during a race weekend. Back, what are we, row 3?
Yep.
Reasonable result so far?
Yeah, okay. Not as fast as it was the last time here, but don't know what's gone wrong, or just need to keep going and try and get up. I think it could be with the battle for 5th, 6th if I get going a bit, but just seemed to be just off the back of them for some reason. So
we saw you out on a 600. Was that last year already that we saw you on the 600?
Years ago, I've had this bike. This is the second year I've had this bike now. 600 is definitely more suited if you're not riding it so often. You can jump on it and go fairly quick, but the big bike just seemed a bit more tiring, but unfit for myself anyway.
Oh well, good luck with it.
Yes,
no doubt we'll see a good effort from him. I want to speak to another man, if I can find him, Alan Davidson. Here he is. We speak to Alan quite a lot for good reason though, because he puts in some great performances and then has some iffy moments with a few accidents. Alan, you've had an interesting first year back racing. I just mentioned as I walked across there some great results, but interrupted with some spills.
Very much so. Some not bad results, but disastrous. Qualified yesterday morning, finished on the second and third lap, and really obviously to see by the positions today where I'm sitting how sore I am. So just got no strength for my right arm, so we're just really tooting around, get a few miles on the bikes and riding around enjoying myself in the sun.
The bike looked fantastic yesterday. I got an email from you through the week showing me the new colour scheme on the bike, but it's changed a touch since then.
It sure has, I think this size looks best if you bring the camera around. Looking this way, it doesn't look too bad still.
Hope keep smiling and hopefully you still enjoy it.
We are. Thanks.
There we go. This will be spectacular as ever. I'll hand it to Dennis and Duncan and they'll take us through proceedings.
Okay, thank you very much, Joe Tanner, as we see the bikes leaving the holding area for this, the second race. Nice to hear from Alan Davidson and also Norman Brunton there, Dennis. It's good to get the insight of the riders before they actually go out and hit the circuit. Maybe hitting the circuit a few too many times, Alan Davidson. Some of these often having, Dennis, he's been not through lack of trying, that's for sure, because he's a very quick man, but when he goes down, it seems to be such a big accident, Alan Sullivan.
Yeah, we saw him last time out, Duncan, down towards the hairpin in the reverse direction, being just a little overexcited, you've got to say, on a couple of occasions, and but hopefully he can just be sensible, get round and get some signatures on his licence.
So McFadden, Keith and Tasker are the front row off the grid, with Patterson, Jewett and Shirlaw in the second row. Craig Shirlaw into the second row. Ross, Brunton, Campbell with Bailey, Bryce and Houston.
And this is a grid from the Scottish Championship, Duncan, so it's from qualifying yesterday morning.
So Donald McFadden gets pole position. 23 years of racing, and he's getting quicker and quicker and quicker every time he gets on that BMW. Cooper, Butcher and Hughes with Duncan, Quinn and Lamond. Davidson down in 19th place with Hunter, Donald, Shanks on his KTM, Patterson 23rd and Victor Corriere down in 24th.
Got to say, Andy Lamond as well, last time out, or yesterday, Duncan, got his first ever clubman podium, and same again in the first race today.
Good stuff. And Morris Ray, Graham Bodell 26 on his Ducati. Remember, it's the first time we've seen Graham in the Superbike clubman class, and the rest of the guys. Cox rounding out the complete grid as everybody comes up towards the grid marshals to get themselves into their grid spot. So come on, Dennis, if you had 50 pence, who would you be putting on right now?
You've got to say again, you know, especially for the whole shot, Torkel Patterson, he seems to be mega off the line compared to some of the other guys, just not as sharp. And yeah, we've got to see what happens. Donald McFadden, it'd be good to see him up there, get a result. I know he's desperately trying hard for a win. And he's even packed in smoking, Duncan. He's kicked a new lifestyle. He wants to try and get fitter. He's found himself out of puff, and he's definitely trying.
I actually saw him with one of these electronics things, and I thought, I was impressed. Donald, he was sucking it like it was no tomorrow, mind you. But it was good to see him maybe at this later stage in his life trying to get a little bit fitter and healthier. And these things aren't easy to ride around here. You know, you've got to be in peak physical fitness if you can, because when you're hanging on to one of these superbikes, they're tough.
There's no time for a rest whatsoever, you know. It's action packed right the way through the circuit, you know, from wherever you are. It's hard work. Even the start finish straight isn't really a straight, Duncan. It's undulating, it's challenging, and that's why everyone that comes up here for the British Superbikes loves the place. You know, it's a challenging circuit, very technical, and you can learn it quick enough, but to go fast it takes a long time.
So Graham Whitehill getting the guys into their proper grid slots with help from the marshals there. Front row off the grid. McFadden on his BMW looks over towards Mike the Bike Keith, race one winner, and then Andrew Tasker next to him. That's your front row off the grid. We shall be having a race start in just a minute. Join us after the break for more Superbike action here at Knockhill.
On the start zones in a second, the green flag is waved.
So here we go, we're back, we're under starters orders.
Lights go on the Beatson's building.
The guys have got the red lights on the bridge, and away we go. And it's a terrible start from Martin Jewett in the middle of the second row. He goes airborne instead of forward, and we go on board with Shawnee Cooper, and he goes past Craig Shirlaw. Great start from Sean Cooper, but Dennis Hobbs is 50 pence. Torkel Patterson takes the lead, he gets a great hole shot and leads as they go through. Leslie's in towards Scotsman on the first lap. A very busy Superbike field here. Patterson from McFadden, from Mike the Bike Keith, and then Andrew Tasker. That's a good tip by you there, Dennis.
Yeah, well, you know, we've seen it form over the years, Duncan, that Torkel is normally the man off the line, and he's got to get the head down. We saw him struggle a little bit in the first race. Once he got to the hairpin, he wasn't anywhere near it, but Darren Ross could have been inside of Shawnee Cooper there, but Sean Cooper, first time we've seen him in the big bike class, Duncan, and already putting a good showing for himself.
Thankfully they've turned the camera around from Andrew Tasker this time, because we weren't seen very much looking the other way, and we saw Mike Keith going past him in towards the hairpin there. Out the hairpin, Sean Cooper on his big ZX-10R. Who's that? That's Nitro Norrie up the inside of him. Norman Brunton on the R1. Let's see if the Kawasaki's that little bit quicker than the Yamaha. Yamaha's not really known for top speed, but it's not really a top speed circuit, Dennis, is it?
And somebody side by side as they go onto the brakes. That's Craig Shirlaw.
Craig Shirlaw goes up the inside there. Comes from a very good racing family. Father Roy used to race the sidecars, so Roy Shirlaw will be pretty impressed with that, I would imagine, as they come through. Butchers up towards Arnold Clark chicane. Mike Keith, Andrew Tasker.
it's just like, I like watching Mike Keith ride. He's just throwing the bike over side to side, actually not really moving around with his body or anything else. It is an old conventional style that Mike Keith's got, and it proved to be worthwhile. He took his first ever victory in the race earlier on, Duncan, but at the front, Torkel Parsons actually already pulled out a fairly big lead over Don McFadden and the rest of the guys behind.
Yeah, there's the older riders, I'm not going to say they're all old, but the more experienced riders of Patterson, McFadden and Keith, leading the youngster of Andrew Tasker as they come up and over the crest. We've got a stationary yellow flag there, so that means there must be a happening down at St Curves, you would imagine. Have we lost somebody on the timing screen?
Just saying, that's number 6, Alan Davison. Unfortunately, I know you mentioned before, so that multicoloured bike will have to be even more multicoloured next time we see her out.
Yeah, there'll be a bit more green on it, we would imagine. So unfortunately, we've lost Alan Davidson very early on there. We were talking about him at the start. Joe interviewed him, and just unfortunately, things not working out for Alan. He used to have a ZX10 and he was very stable in that, so maybe it's just a switch of bikes. He's struggling a little bit with then. But our leaders are coming through Clark Corner. Patterson's gone. There's McFadden. Then it's Keith with Tasker right on the back of him. And that's race control just saying that bike 24's got a 10-second jump start penalty. So Andy Lamond, unfortunately, he's got himself on the podium, and now he's just got a little bit excited on the start line, and that's going to find him a little bit further down the order. So Andy Lamond, he's not going to be happy with that one. A jump start penalty. You don't get away with jump starts here. Race director Ian Forrest, firm but fair. We'll say that. Yeah, for sure. But Darren Ross, Duncan, you've got to say he's a guy that's impressing on the new ZX10 that he's got off Sean Gilfillan. As well, look at Graham Duncan going up the inside there, and that was Jimmy Shanks. Yep, good move there. Gavin Donald on the one-on white there. That's he's riding Roy Waugh's bike. Roy unfortunately injured himself and giving Gavin Donald a shot, and Gavin giving him a good account of himself so far. He's riding 2 classes as well, and a BMW, not the easiest of bikes to learn when you've been riding a little small 650. Now here, this is an interesting battle because Darren Ross, the legend of the Northeast, actually ahead of Craig Sherlock at this moment in time, and they're both Aberdeen Kawasaki. That's the race team, so they're both riding for the kind of the same team. Darren Ross ahead of the more experienced Sherlock on the blue 124 bike, chasing Darren Ross on the 84 bike, and Martin Jewett makes it 3 Kawasaki's in a row because he's just gone past his good mate Nitro Norrie Brunton. You've got to say that Darren Ross's bike there a little bit twitchy as he was coming down in towards the hairpin, and doing a little bit of a tank stop as he was getting onto the brakes, as we see somebody looking casual and cool on the pit wall. As we look back to Shawnee Cooper again having a good battle, and is that Alan Bailey? Yeah, Alan Bailey goes past Sean Cooper. Now, Sean Cooper, we love Sean Cooper. I think he's doing a great job on this bike, but we would like to see him also in the 600s, Dennis, because he was putting in some killer results on his 600, and just when it was starting to get to the front, he's stepped up a class, but this was always a plan for him. To be fair, stepping up a class, Duncan hasn't done any harm. He's racing with guys that are fast, and he's near the sharp end already, so he's tailing Darren Ross, one of the newcomers, but Darren Ross is riding high up the field. As we come to the hairpin, Martin Jewett making a move on the inside for the brakes here, and he's got past. Good move by Martin Jewett there. Now I spotted an onboard camera on the back of Darren Ross, so it'd be good if we could have got some footage from Darren Ross. Dazzler himself up over the crest, now clicking off another lap. These guys starting to space out a little bit now. At the front though, it's still Torkel Patterson leading the way from Donald McFadden, as we see Gavin Donald up the inside. That's almost a Graham Duncan move there over the apex curb. Yeah, using a little bit of the curb there, making it sticky, and that was number 14 Paul Quinn who's just got the inside off. Up over the crest of the hill, Gavin Donald will be noticing just how quickly one of these Superbikes are compared to his SV650 Mini Twin. Probably using the same braking marking going, I would imagine so. That would be a frightening thing. Ross leads Jewett, leads Sherlock, and Nitro Norrie, as there's a few back markers ahead of these guys now as they come through Clark Corner and head towards the hairpin. Roy Houston has just sneaked past as well. Roy Houston's had a quite quiet meeting after having a tip-off on the Saturday qualifying. Yeah, he's just not had the best of rides this weekend. You know, he's been trying hard, and the pace is good, Duncan, but the pace at the front end of the field this weekend's been on fire. You know, Torkel Patterson, Don McFadden, Mike Keith, all these guys putting in low 51s. You know, that is a fast pace around here, and we're looking back there towards Martin Jowett. Martin Jowett got an awful start. We saw him just go back. He reversed there, didn't he? Nicknamed lucky, but pretty unlucky off the start there was Martin Jowett. But riding the wheels off the thing at the moment and trying to catch up towards the back of Roy Houston. He's past Darren Ross, and that's a good thing for Darren Ross. It's only going to drag Darren on with his riding. You know, it's you've got to say Martin Jowett is a guy that's been on the British Championship for a long time, and so he's going to be following a quick guy, and it's going to help progress his riding as well and get more use out of his ZX10. And Craig Sherlock will not be liking this, seeing Darren Ross ahead of him and actually pulling away now as Ross goes up the inside on the brakes, decides better off it. Can't manage to make that past it completely as through the hairpin they come there. Number 64, that's Brian Mackey. He's a Ducati from Aberfeldy. So hopefully Brian Mackey's enjoying himself there, but he's getting a bit of a lesson right now in speed and precision as these guys all absolutely fly past.
Just to let you know that Alan Davison's clubman lap record has just been eclipsed by Darren Ross. Darren Ross sets a new clubman lap record of 52.3, so well done to Darren.
That's an incredibly fast lap from Darren Ross. Is that faster lap than Craig Shirlow? We'll have to keep our eyes on that because that needle match will run on throughout the course of the year. But look at Taco Patterson, splits the back markers of, I believe that's Craig Cox and your man Kenny Patterson there. Taco Patterson absolutely relentless through them. He goes and winds the big Saltair Suzuki, prepped by YPE. Taco Patterson rides that thing so well and so fast.
Yep, and the last lap flags out there, Duncan, so we're on to the final revolution of the circuit. Just behind these guys, no, it's Donald McFadden that's just ahead of Mike Keith and Andrew Tasker.
In towards Scotsman for Taco Patterson. He's just done Victor Corriere at the top of St. Curves. Victor will be hanging in there and seeing this Saltair Suzuki absolutely flying around the circuit. Look at Taco's line through chicane. They're absolutely perfect. Hangs off the side of the bike, up the back straight. This will be one of the last couple of rides that we see Taco riding the big bike, because next year, as he already said, he will be on a Superstock 600. Whatever he rides, a Kawasaki, a Yamaha, or what it may be, will be exciting for us to watch on and commentate on. But into the hairpin he comes for the last time. The little foot out the side there. Taco Patterson turns it in, looks over his shoulder, and cheekiness at that, isn't it? Both ways, and pulls a big fancy wheelie up towards the checker flag. A convincing victory for Tox. He'll be happy with that one. Takes the applause from the pit wall there. Donna McFadden gets second. Mike Keith comes home in third. Andrew Tasker a very distant fourth.
I think there was a wheelie competition going on there. Donald standing on the pegs there just to make it look a little bit more impressive.
Good on them. These guys will be happy with that, and they'll come up to roll up towards Taco Patterson on this victory lap. Giving him a little bit of a heads up and a well done there.
Obviously, Taco will be wanting to go out with a victory here in the Superbike class, and I believe this is the first time he's won the Scottish Superbike Championship, Duncan.
Yeah, good stuff, and he's looking very happy underneath that Saltair Arai, isn't he, as Taco Patterson comes round. We'll catch up with Taco Patterson in the pits with Joe Tanner in the post-race press conference. So the results of the Superbikes sees Taco Patterson, Donna McFadden and Mike Keith your podium. Andrew Tasker a distant fourth, Martin Jowett, Darren Ross, Roy Houston and Craig Shirlaw all involved in a titanic battle, taking them down to 8th place.
Donald, the final Superbike race of the 2013 season is about to begin. The championship already been sealed by Taco Patterson. We've seen some dominant races from him. I'd love to see our man Donald McFadden taking a win in this final race, but I want to speak to a man, Andy Lamond, right down towards the back of the field. Watch your feet on these cables as we squeeze through. You'll notice that he is wearing an orange bib or an orange t-shirt. Andy, we'll get a quick chat for the TV if we can. I don't think we've had a chance to catch up this year. Orange bib still on, a newcomer to racing. Yeah. Give us a brief run through of the year.
Oh, it's been brilliant. We started for the first time in April and have progressed quite well over the season. I think we started in about 18th position, got down to 13th, got my first 2 podiums this weekend. So I'm really looking forward to it.
And you've come from track days?
Come from track days as well.
It's a great class to come into because you've got the really quick guys at the front on the Superbike machinery, but then the clubman class towards the rear is a great place to begin as well.
Yeah, it is. I started kind of at the back of the grid at the beginning of the year, and I would say I'm up to about 13, so ahead of the kind of middle of the pack. And I think it really takes you on compared to the track days. It's just so much fun. And I think the objective for this one is to see if I can try and get on to the next group in front of me, who are running just about half a second quicker than I am.
You'll need to work on those starts.
Aye, absolutely. Jump started the last race, so I'll try and pull it off a bit better this time round.
Good stuff, good luck.
All right, cheers.
This will be action all the way. I'll hand it to Dennis and Dunn and they'll take us through it.
Thank you very much, Joe Tanner. Taco Patterson will want to sign off with another victory, you're guaranteed. But Donald McFadden and Mike Keith are going to make it very difficult for him. Tasker, Jowett and Ross with Houston, Shirlaw and Brunton all still together on the grid. Bryce Cooper and Gavin Donald in 12th place. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, Gavin Donald got classified as 3rd place in the club in there, so he's going to be over. I think Roy and the team will be impressed with that one.
Looking at the grid, still a full grid of bikes for this, the final race, Dennis. Can you pick another winner? You've done pretty well with Torkel so far, haven't you? Getting the whole shot down towards that first corner, see it curves.
Yeah, I can see Torkel getting the whole shot again, but it all depends on that first lap. Like you say, we saw him a bit uncomfortable in one of the races, Duncan. And you know, maybe it'd be nice to see somebody else win. Mike Keith might win another race. It'd be good to see Donald win a race. And then you've got a few of the other guys behind Andrew Tasker. Everyone trying as hard as possible.
Here we go. We're under starters' orders for this, the final Superbike race. On look at that launch from Torkel Patterson, absolutely perfect, straightforward. Mike the Bike Keith gets a good start also, as does Donna McFadden into St Curves. It is Patterson, Keith and McFadden in that order as they come through, getting the bikes back through the bottom turn 2 Leslie's and then stopping them for Scotsman corner. Let's hope that everybody wants to stay upright there. Andrew Tasker goes underneath Martin Jowett as the time we get to the Arnold Clark chicane.
Martin Jowett's got Alan Bryce right behind him, like saying he's got a good start this time. We saw him go backwards in the previous race, but Martin Jowett can maybe run the pace with these guys. We've seen Kenny Patterson on the 63 bike there, just going through the Arnold Clark chicane, but back with the race leaders down the hairpin. And Torkel Patterson already trying his hardest to open up a gap over Mike Keith.
Yeah, but here comes Mike up the inside, good at breaking move. Mike Keith is going to, oh, there's contact, down they go. Oh dear, it's gone horribly wrong. Mike Keith was going for a gap on the inside there. Torkel started to take the racing line. Mike's outbraked himself and Torkel hands in the air. We've seen that at the hairpin before, hands up, but what a shame. Torkel Patterson trudges off, absolutely dejected with that one, and he was wanting to sign off his Superbike career at Knockhill with a win. Look at the replay, Dennis. Mike's going for the inside, but he's in too hot. Torkel's got the right to turn in, bang, straight in the back. Look at Torkel here, thumping himself into the ground. Oh, that's quite a nasty hit to the back of the head, Dennis.
Yeah, look at it. They're both, I think, Duncan from our position are up on the feet and okay from that one. Just Mike Keith, just a small mistake, Duncan. You can see the front starting to chatter as it starts to lock up. And down he went, but that's going to mean another new race winner this weekend,
Absolutely,
Duncan.
absolutely.
And at the front we've got Donald McFadden and Andrew Tasker, and behind them Martin Jowett. Oh, Martin Jowett's just been given a 10-second jump start penalty. We're hearing from race control, Duncan, that's just come through. So Martin Jowett, he's probably not going to realise that. He's sitting there in 3rd place on track at the moment, but he's going to be classified a lot further down the screen.
Great work once again by the Marshall crew. Jamie Rebels and his guys at the hairpin there. Great team of Marshals as we have all the way around the circuit. They get the bikes cleared off the track straight away, and both riders appear to be okay. We've not had a stoppage, which is great, but whoa, what a sad way to end the Superbike season for Torkel Patterson and Mike Keith. Mike gets his first victory off the weekend and then unfortunately wipes out Torkel Patterson, and you can only say that's a race incident. It was, you know, one of these things that happens.
Yeah,
Dennis.
He hit his braking marker, got it locked up, and I'm sure if Mike Keith could have got to the outside of Torkel Patterson's wheel, he would have done, but he was sucked in. He was trying to slow down the front, and the front just tucked, and down he went as we look back at the 65 machine.
That is one of those incidents that you could probably feel and see was going to happen for a good little while over Mike Keith.
Yeah, for sure, that's close. We've got Craig Cox, Gavin Donald and Kenny Patterson all together here as they come up towards the Arnold Clark chicane once more.
Yep, Gavin Donald doing a fantastic show on Roy Waugh's big BMW there, and he's taking this very, very well. Craig Cox, another new man on his R1 as Donald goes up the inside of him. Kenny Patterson falling through on his Carmasters, a Glasgow BMW. Round towards the hairpin, through his slopes they go, in towards the hairpin. Nice bit of clear track ahead of them. Jimmy Shanks and Andy Hunter. No diesel in the tank of that Suzuki now. We'll all be happy off, because it was a very smoky bike when there was diesel in it. And up the straight they go to click off another lap.
Yeah, Kenny Patterson, nice overtake up the inside there as we look back at the race leader, Donald McFadden with Andrew Tasker. Andrew's trying his hardest.
Oh, sorry, Dennis. Darren Ross in the gravel there.
And I'm sure I saw a picture of Norrie Brunton there in the background there, Duncan. We'll just have to double check. I think maybe there's been contact further down the field. I think Norrie Brunton may have gone down, and I think the result of Darren Ross there probably going wide and through the gravel.
Oh, so Darren Ross goes 4x4 on grass tracking on his ZX10R. That certainly wasn't in the script for Darren Ross, but at the hairpin is a very, very fast and good, kind of smooth looking Donald McFadden there. I'm happy I put smooth and not just good looking.
Yeah, well, Donald in the previous race, Duncan, he was down in the 51 freeze, and this race isn't as fast, and maybe that's because they're not chasing Mike Keith. You can see Norrie Brunton just being picked up there in the background.
Good spot.
Maybe because Mike Keith and Torkel Patterson aren't at the front, they've got nobody to chase, and it's maybe harder to get their own lap time, but they're constantly 52 zeros, 51 nines, 51 eights, so they're being consistent with the pace at the front, but not as sharp as what it's been all race day.
So Nitro Norrie obviously okay, maybe a little bit sore sore down there, but they're carrying on with the race. Looks like that you can see the telltale skid marks on the track there, Dennis. Looks like somebody's tucked the front end, and maybe Darren Ross just with nowhere to go there. I'm just trying to work out on the screen here. Martin Jowett's showing down in 5th place at the moment, Duncan. He's still 3rd place on the racetrack, and he's got to find another 2 seconds to get himself into 3rd place. On the time screen, Craig Sherlaw in 3rd place. Well, bravo Craig Sherlaw as the 2 leaders, McFadden and Tasker, go past Graham Bodell, who's bound to be feeling it by now, I would imagine, on that 10.98 Ducati. Last lap flag gets shown to Donald McFadden. So is Donald going to win the final Superbike race of the year as we come up to go and put Morris Ray a lap down here as he tips in through 8 curves? It's all about McFadden. He looks like he's got a comfy enough lead if he can get underneath Morris Ray here at Scotsman, which he has. And Andrew Tasker's going to possibly be stuck behind Morris Ray. Can he go right round the outside? Great move by Tasker, and he had to do that, Dennis. Yep, no, he had to do that to try and stick him with Donald McFadden, but I think Donald already had enough of a comfortable cushion there, Duncan, because he's been setting consistent lap times, and Andrew's just not been able to get close enough. He's always been like half a second to a second behind, and Donald's pretty much got this one on the bag now. Well, the old boy has got to the front as Donald McFadden. 23 years of racing here at Knockhill Racing Circuit and all over the place. It's great to see him into the hairpin, and Donald McFadden is going to win the final Superbike race of 2013. He's absolutely flying up towards the checker flag. Donald McFadden is your winner. Andrew Tasker comes home in 2nd place, and it's going to be Craig Sherlaw in 3rd. Yeah, for sure. Craig Sherlaw's going to snatch 3rd place away from that machine, number 7 machine of Martin Jowett, who'll be slightly disappointed. Donald McFadden, supported by AJ, G Parcels, Jack Self Drives, Capital Fire Alarm and Security Systems, Ord Industrial, Broomfield, Holiday Park, and he's got a lot of sponsors down there. There's Torco Patterson with wife Erin in the background in the blue top there. Mike Keith, we saw him going down to have a little look at the bike as well, but there's no taking away the win from Donald McFadden. Pulls the stand-up wheelie. Seems to be part of the course in the Superbikes, doesn't it? And your results are: Donald McFadden wins from Andrew Tasker. Craig Sherlaw gets a fantastic podium with Martin Jowett, Alan Bryce, Sean Cooper, Alan Berry and Darren Ross down in 8th position.
Good.